2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the Toronto Raptors out at Scotiabank Arena. So for Toronto, their last game, a loss to the Heat. They suffered an upset loss, perhaps a loss of focus, but you can be certain that won't be the case tonight. I like the battle of the backcourts here, Kenny. You were in plenty of these alongside Vernon Maxwell.
Those were the days. You know, we always felt we had an athletic advantage against most of the guards that we were playing against. And we also thought that it was difficult to guard us because we not only shot threes, but we went to the basket. The other thing that we thought, you know what, before I even go on, I'll let Shaq go, because Vernon Maxwell, I'll tell you what, was one tough son of a gun.
And with all the switching out, guys don't technically go head-to-head as much as they used to. Actually be a battle of who wins the mismatches.
Oh, very good point. Thank you, Shaq. The game just about ready to get underway, and we'll see you later.
See you later.
And a look behind the curtain here. Final preparations for the challenge ahead. Hoping to come out of the gates strong. Terrific shot of Nathan Phillips Square here in downtown Toronto. Welcome, maybe the best day of the NBA. Thursday night, and we're happy you could be here with us. Chris Webber's joining us at the broadcast table alongside Greg Anthony and David Aldridge on the sideline. This is Kevin Harlan. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, we know Russell Westbrook is fearless on the court and with his sense of fashion. Growing up around Los Angeles, he said, I felt like every day was the first day of school. That's how it was the minute I woke up. And guys, he's starting to release his own lines of clothing and accessories. I have a couple in my closet. Back to you.
Influential with his taste for sure, David. Thank you. And we got a chance now to check out multiple seasons of assist numbers and what has been the trend for Harden.
The drop in his assists over the past few years have made him more of a one-dimensional player offensively. He needs to get that passing element back in his game, and that'll make life a lot more difficult for opposing defenses.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. Green is out there with Clark, and it's Capella in at the 5 spot. And for Toronto, Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Van Vliet and Lowry are the 1 and the 2. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. And tonight, a battle of offenses that can really stretch defenses thin, Chris. As a former post player, talk about the advantages of being surrounded by great shooters.
Well, you want to get doubled. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. You can be as aggressive as you want early or late to score as much as you can. Why? Because you want that defense to try to stop you, because when they do, you just get it out to wide open shooters that can knock it down. And when you get double teamed, you know, even the hockey assist or the direct assist to a cat can really get their rhythm going. And then you put the defense in a quandary, a catch-22. Do they stop you? Do they go to the shooters? And when you get the defense kind of thinking off balance like that, you start to have fun when you add back cuts, alley-oops, spin moves, dunks, drive it to the hole, shooters. It turns into a fun game that way.
A lot of options, you're right. Westbrook following the basket by Pascal Siakam, and stolen by Siakam. A floater, count that one from Van Vliet.
Oh, even from that range, the floater is one of the toughest shots in the game.
Outside Westbrook. Outside Green. Pass to Clark. Over Siakam. And that one's good by Clark. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. The pass to Lowry. Floats it up there for Siakam. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Absolutely the prettiest play in basketball, executed to perfection.
I don't think you'd get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop. Now, here's Westbrook. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against San Antonio. Harden outside. to Westbrook. Launches a three. That shot no good. So the Raptors will take it the other way. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team.
Yeah, and a bit of a revenge game for them as they were swept in the two-game season series from last year.
Yeah, for sure. This is a team that feels like they should never be swept in the season series by anyone, but especially when it comes to one of the heavy hitters from the other conference.
Now here's Van Vliet after Clint Capella's miss.
One of the few guys in the league who make a lead pass like that. Oh, just a fantastic look.
Harden dishes to Capella. Keeps it alive. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Clark's got his second bucket.
I love his work ethic, not to mention his hands. You need both to convert those tip-ins.
First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. And the foul on Harden. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Siakam. Off target with his three. And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for Houston. Trailing by 2. He feeds it to Clark. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Excellent D there by Johnson. The Raptors have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Inside, Gasol. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Showing the muscle, Gasol skilled at powering through the contact and finishing.
Outside Westbrook. Passes it to Harden over Lowry. And Harden with the basket on the assist by Westbrook. Harden's got his second bucket tonight.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
Now, here is Harden. The game now all time. Harden's got 6 points.
3 for 4 to start. I mean, he's going to try to keep this streak going as long as he can.
And here are the Raptors now. Siakam outside. Back to Van Vliet. Johnson outside. Pass to Lowry. 6 to shoot. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lowry. And a look at the recent power rankings. Some interesting stories here in the early part of December. Taking a look at Toronto. They've hit a little bit of a skid here, playing right around the league average now.
And seeing where the Rockets are, they are rolling, showing a lot of belief in themselves. The fan base is energized. We'll see if they can keep this up.
Here's Clark, covered by Siakam. Harden against Lowry. James Harden again. 8 points for him. Here's Van Vliet. 11 points for him in that last game against Miami.
Well, the Rockets are a team that is pushing NBA theory to the extremes with how they approach offense.
Oh, yeah, every year they seem to go more toward threes or free throws. I mean, you can't fault them as it consistently works for them, though. I mean, it's like watching a team experiment with what makes an NBA offense.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And sometimes all you got to do is lob it Capella's way. Often he takes care of the rest.
Here's Siakam. He's coming off a 22-point game against Miami.
But we got to talk about his D2. 4 steals in the game. I mean, a complete all-around effort for him.
Now, here's Siakam. 4-point game, and it's good for 2.
Ball control, body control, and a nice touch. All the ingredients you need for the reverse.
Pass to Westbrook. This one for 3. Siakam pulls it in. Toronto's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Van Vliet passes to Lowry. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist.
And that's Lowry's shot right there. Always looking to capitalize from that range.
Rockets have gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. Westbrook kicks to Green. And the pass to Harden. Passes it to Capella. Clock at 2 from deep. Green. It's good. And he makes his first shot of the game.
Those catch and shoot chances will be there for Green because the D's got to worry about his ability to attack the rim.
And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Raptors with some changes. Ibaka comes in for Marc Gasol. And Hollis Jefferson subbed in for Stanley Johnson. The Rockets also changing it up. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Clark. And Gordon subbed in for Green. Now, here's Lowry. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Miami.
And don't leave out his rebounder, Kev. I mean, he had a big impact in that game with all his effort on the glass.
Houston in the lead. Here's Harden on the wing. Covered by Van Vliet. Right side, Gordon. There's the three. Offensive rebound. Here's Capella. Now the feed to Tucker. Gets an open look and hits. And the Rockets lead by 4.
This is the next step for Capella, learning how to become a better passer over time.
Siakam with it and guarded by Capella. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Clint Capella.
Clearly a foul. And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam, got better in every statistical category.
Shooting 2.
They throw good. Siakam. And it's those diamond-in-the-rough players that so often elevate the top teams. And, Greg, that's what the Raptors found in Pascal Siakam.
No doubt. The 27th pick back in 2016. Now a full-time starter on a rookie contract, just over $2 million this season. He is due for a big raise.
Siakam hits them both. And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east. Already we are in December. You look at the Raptors right there in 5th position, middle of the pack in the conference.
And for the Raptors, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
Yeah, they'll be there in the playoffs. I'm sure of that. It's just a matter of how high they'll be seated.
Good on the three-point shot.
And Gordon has always been a lethal perimeter shooter. When he gets a clean look, he doesn't hesitate pulling the trigger.
Pass to Powell. Back to Lowry. The three. There's Hollis Jefferson. It's deflected.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
A nice shot by Tucker. Now it's a 7-point Rocket lead.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Now, here's Siakam. Guarded by Tucker. Siakam passes to Powell. Offline with his three. Rockets leading by 7. Right wing. Here's McLemore. That shot off the mark. Good D by Siakam. They break it out 5 on 3. And Siakam throws it down.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way and get a great look.
Now here's Gordon. He had 13 points in the win against San Antonio. Now here's Tucker. Defense right on him. Houston needs to get a shot off. Now here's McLemore outside. That will not get it done. He's 0 for 2. Here's Hollis Jefferson, guarded by Tucker. Powell. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Now just a 3-point Houston lead.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Pass to McLemore. Gordon deciding where to go with it. Tucker, the pass to Cephalosha. Back to Tucker, and stolen by Siakam. Here's Lowry. Finished off the break. Lowry's got 5 now.
And that's such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
Outside Gordon. Now the pass to Cephalosha. Lowry against Rivers. 6 on the shot clock. Gordon inside. Powell's there, and it's Gordon missing.
Some very aggressive defense to prevent the easy lay-in.
Kept alive. There's Hollis Jefferson, and they convert at last on attempt number 3.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Rivers. No points in the game yet for him. Can they get it? And it's Gordon missing.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
Here's McLemore. They trail by 1. Good D by Siakam. Toronto's gone a meager 1 of 6 from three-point land since we got started tonight. Here's Hollis Jefferson. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Pass to Lowry. Fires the 3. Second chance shot. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And this is where Ibaka is becoming a little more savvy. Just catches the defense off guard. All they can do at that point is foul.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
And what's interesting about Ibaka, he's played basketball internationally ever since joining the NBA back in 08. In fact, he won a silver medal with Spain in 2012.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. OG Anunoby comes in for Pascal Siakam. And Thomas subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Ibaka hits both of them. 27 seconds left in the first quarter. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Cephalosha's shot is good.
And with those points, he puts an end to that 10-0 run by the Raptors.
Pass to Anunoby. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
And that's a gift if I've ever seen one. They've got to communicate much better out there.
Here's Cephalosha off the inbound. No good on the layup. Pascal Siakam getting it done for Toronto. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Now a veteran in the NBA, Serge Ibaka, talked about his role on this team.
I like to do all those little things, running up and down, blocking shot, straight to floor, making open shot, rolling the basket, screen, those dirty work. I like to do that.
And Ibaka, Greg, a great complementary player.
And you like his combination of size and skill, able to impact the game at both ends on a high level.
And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. Taking a look here at the Raptors' performance here, guys. What have they been doing or not doing, in your opinion?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Setting the pace early, GA. I like this aggressive mind state. I love this approach so far.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for Toronto right now, Thomas is out there with Powell. Then it's Ibaka, and it's Anunoby in a power forward. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know, and if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, a Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole. And Kevin, that's what made him. From Philly to Villanova to Toronto to an NBA champion.
I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. Here's what the Houston Rockets schedule looks like. On Saturday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. And then on Monday, it'll be the Sacramento Kings coming into town.
Some might look ahead at the schedule and start marking off how many wins they'll wind up with, but I think that's a trap. You can't take any nights off in the NBA, and you've got to stay in the moment.
First one falls for him. The NBA will play a regular season game in Paris for the first time. Hornets and Bucks. Chris, you're planning to be there for that, aren't you?
Such a beautiful city. Can't wait. And think about all our players from France that are here now that are doing such great things in the NBA. It's going to be awesome for them to get to go home and do it in front of their families.
Clark, he's checked in for the Rockets. And McLemore drops them both. Now the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
Hollis Jefferson, good.
Oh, you get it inside like this, you're going to get a high percentage shot almost every time.
Rivers against Powell. Rivers kicks to McLemore. Oh! That is just nasty.
The athleticism on that finish.
No.
This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And that 82% free throw percentage this season must have him feeling pretty good about himself at the line.
Marcus All's checked in for the Raptors. Fred VanVleet comes in for Norman Powell. Gerald Green, he's checked in for the Rockets.
The former Jayhawk McLemore, a gifted scorer who can really light it up in a hurry.
Raptors trail by 4. VanVleet looking around. Pass to Anunoby. Knocked loose. Stolen by Tucker. Now here's McLemore. Not a lot of room. Clark. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Thomas gets a wide open look. The Rockets pull it in. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
And a lot of it is moving without the ball. When you do that, things tend to open up.
It's stolen by McLemore. On the money with the open jumper. McLemore's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Oh, you can't forget about the speed of McLemore. Uses it so well on his drives to the hoop.
Stolen by Rivers. Gasol with the steal. Van Vliet with it. Picked up by Rivers. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Here's Gasol. And the foul called on OG Anunoby. That is his first foul of the game. Johnson, he's checked in for Hollis Jefferson. The Rockets also changing it up. Clint Capella, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Harden comes in for McLemore. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Rivers. Houston leading by 6. Westbrook surveying the D. He kicks it to Green. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Lets it go from deep. Here's Capella. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Well, to me, Clint Capella is a classic center. I mean, I love his hands. Great footwork. I mean, he takes what is given to him. He plays inside, protects the rim. And if you throw it up, he'll finish it with authority.
And with Capella, that finishing and rebounding are key to his game.
Yeah, and he's only going to keep getting better, Kevin, which is a scary prospect for every other center in the NBA.
Now here's Van Vliet. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Toronto working the ball around now. Thomas deciding where to go with it. Shot clock at 6. But they'll get another chance. And again, no good by Toronto. And Harden with the stuff.
And Harden is the last guy the D wants to see get loose on the break. I mean, so talented at finishing off of these opportunities.
Now Van Vliet.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. We're talking about number one options at the offensive end. There's a mentality, right, that you got to have as the teams go to score, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Let's look at Harden. He can go 0 for 7, and then he expects to go 27 for 27. How about Curry? Have you ever seen Thompson when they said, oh, my God, Klay Thompson is off. Last game, he only had 11 points. Well, when that happens, you can bet your last dollar that the next game, he's going to make every shot. And so what it is, again, a short memory. Whether you make a lot, so what? I'm going to do that again tonight. And if you missed a lot the previous night, so what? That wasn't this night. Let's get it right now.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter. And most fans think of the Rockets as offense only, but that's not the case at all.
No, GA, I mean, they force a good amount of turnovers, and they trap pretty well. I mean, the defense has been solid for them the past few years, if you ask me. Nothing mind-blowing, but this team is certainly not one-sided.
And that one falls for Clark. And so Clark nails both of them. Van Vliet with it. Kicks it to Thomas. 6 on the shot clock. Raptors need to get a shot off. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here. Now, while we've got a moment now to see this year's three-point contest and how it's shaping up, let's take a look at some of the top candidates emerging as we see here some players who are likely to make the final cut.
Not too shabby of shooters on this list, Kevin. You got to love the advancement and really the evolution of the three-point shot in today's game.
Well, you look at Gasol. He's got a place in the three-point contest within his reach. I hope he makes it because I know how much this would mean to him to be a part of the event.
I mean, that's a good call, Kevin. He's the type of player that can really deliver on a stage like that. He'll be very dangerous if he ultimately gets in.
And as the votes keep pouring in, we'll keep you updated on any changes to that list. It looks like we're going to have quite a group.
Man, you talk about the ultimate marksman's list here, Kevin. Maybe this will be the year somebody gets that perfect score.
And here is Van Vliet following Russell Westbrook's three. Van Vliet passes to Thomas. Back to Van Vliet. Will it go? Russell Westbrook with the rebound.
He has shot them in the foot with his inability to make shots tonight.
Harden, that's good.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
No, because it's gone dead silent in this arena. What a fantastic performance here on the road.
Toronto calls timeout. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
Scoring efficiency was an issue in that one. Took them too many shots to get their points.
Yeah, Jay. They had a hard time taking the lid off the basket. Their offense just looked flat.
And here's a look at some numbers for Harden.
And the one thing that he'll be looking to change is the downturn in his three-point percentage. It's taken a hit here the last 10 games. I know he's putting in extra work to get that rhythm back.
Now here's Johnson. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Westbrook. And it's Houston on the break. Harden's got the ball. Here's Capella. And Gasol sends it back.
You got to be wary of Gasol. I mean, he's good at using his length to turn away shots.
And then Johnson with the dunk.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Siakam is checked in for OG Anunoby, and it's Lowry in for Thomas. And that one falls for Johnson.
And Johnson, the former Arizona Wildcat, certainly has a bright future in this league. The combination of shooting, speed, and length he possesses is just exciting.
Now, here's Westbrook. Right now, he averages nearly 23 points a game, a relentless offensive force. Van Vliet kicks to Gasol. Poked loose. Oh, and here we go. Green's got it. The fast break chance. Good work defensively by Johnson. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Raptors. 15-point game. And there's the pass to Gasol. Capella against Johnson. 6 to shoot. And it's off from three-point range. Houston leading by 15. Harden finds Green. The baseline J off the mark. Toronto's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Johnson with the bounce pass. The drive by Lowry. In it goes. That's his third bucket. He's missed 5 so far.
A veteran guard with a knack for penetrating defenses. Lowry can pretty much get any shot he wants.
To the middle. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Such a consistent night for him from the field. Whenever they've needed it, he's been their safety valve.
Now, here's Siakam. He's got 12. And here is Johnson. That shot is off. Good work defensively by Capella. Harden against Lowry. Here's Capella. An even 3-on-3 break. Fires from deep. And Westbrook pulls it down. Westbrook's got 4 rebounds in this game.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Green in the post, covered by Siakam. Harden inside the three-point line, off the left rim and out.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And until he starts knocking down some shots, I don't think the deficit's going to get any smaller.
Now here's Harden. He's coming off a 34-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio.
Yeah, but it wasn't all about himself. I mean, he kept everybody else in the loop. His passing was tremendous.
Here's Capella, 15-point game. Good work there as it goes.
His field goal percentage is creeping up there now. I mean, it wasn't pretty in the first quarter.
Now here's Van Vliet. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Outside Gasol. Clock at 6. Takes a shot at the elbow. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got 3 assists in the game.
Gasol has always shot a very high percentage on catch and shoot jumpers. You know, hit him with a good pass, he'll make the most of it.
Now here's Harden. No good from Clark.
Well, he's not going to miss that shot twice in a row. Trust me.
With the teardrop, 2 points. That one goes. Lowry's got 9 points. Houston leading by 12. Here's Westbrook. Harden outside. Back to Westbrook. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Gasol's got his 5th rebound in this one. Siakam outside. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Houston's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And that one's good. Westbrook.
And it's the fearlessness of Westbrook. It's really refreshing to watch. When he's deep inside, he just goes right at you.
Well, you knew after the Paul George trade that the Thunder would look to sell on Westbrook as well. Just part of the rebuild at this point. His agent did well to get him to a team looking to compete. A great fit for a player in this stage of Russ's career.
Toronto calls timeout. And we've seen stars, Chris, get suspended in the playoffs for having 7 technical fouls. Should we modify that rule at all, do you think?
I think it can be tweaked if everyone agrees on it. But for me personally, I don't think that we've had enough superstar players get suspended with that rule to say let's change the number. We definitely want superstar players to play in the playoffs, to play for their fans. But we also want to keep the integrity of the game. And if technicals means I get to yell at the referee more, well, then maybe I just have to have more discipline on my end and say, wait a minute, I can't do this because it's going to hurt the team. So I'm not sure about that yet.
Now Gordon following the miss by Kyle Lowry from deep.
Oh, look at those handles. Terrific from the shifty 2-guard. Gordon zipping right through the deep.
1:11 left to play in the first half. Lowry deciding where to go with it here. To the inside, Ibaka. Westbrook pulls it in. Westbrook's got his 6th rebound on the night. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Now, when he came into the league, Eric Gordon was tagged as a shooter. Now he's been shooting more than ever.
And Gordon the last few seasons has been shooting, how about this, over 8 threes a game. His success rate with them has gone up and down over the years, but one thing is for sure, he always has the green light.
That free throw, no good. Well, Chris, as we know, the season began a year ago for Eric Gordon with some poor shooting numbers. Then, halfway through, he blossomed.
Yeah, Kevin, and as you know, he kept focusing all year. He just kept shooting it. And he got better and better and better. His confidence wasn't shaken by it. He still took a ton of threes, and then down the stretch, they started dropping. And you know what he did when that started happening? Driving to the hole because the defense had to respect his shot.
Raptors trail by 17. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. Maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
There's 39 seconds left here in the second. Westbrook against Lowry. 6 on the shot clock. It's Powell on the wing over Rivers.
And this has really become a struggle for them. Their shots aren't dropping, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. They need to put everything they have into getting high percentage shots.
Raptors have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Good on the second free throw. Now Westbrook. He's got 5. Feeds it to Rivers. Powell with the steal. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Rockets lead by 16. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. James Harden was the man in the first. He had 14 points and 1 assist. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
As we've seen, the deceiving quickness of Harden makes him so difficult to guard. He can go from slow to fast in an instant. Can stop on a dime, or he can take you all the way to the rack.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
They relied way too heavily on the three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off. But they still settle for the outside shot. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. A fantastic game from Harden in this one.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
Yeah, Greg, this game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Taking a look at the Rockets. Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. Clint Capella is out there with Clark, and it's Green in at the 3 slot. Sinks the triple.
Looking comfortable, shooting from distance. I mean, over time, Gasol has worked this shot into his game.
Outside Westbrook. And some nice passing there by Houston. Capella finds Green. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on Johnson.
And thinking back to when Gerald Green first came into the league, oozing with athleticism, but really not much else. Now he's a completely different and better player than when he first arrived.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Green. And as amazing as Green was in his dunking as a younger player, he needed to grow as a player.
And the time he spent overseas, I think, really helped with his development and confidence. Came back to the NBA, and really since his return has been a great weapon off the bench for whichever team he's suited up for.
And so he hits both.
Oh, not many players with a more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
Lowry against Harden. Lowry kicks to Siakam. Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Westbrook. A wide open look for Gasol. Off target from outside. Houston leading by 15. Westbrook, no good.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. They led by as many as 18 points. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Here's Clark on the money from 12 feet away. Clark's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Well, it's easy to see how Harden's been the league's top assist man before. I mean, he makes the special feeds.
Raptors trail by 14. The drive by Lowry. Good on the bucket.
Nice and steady so far in the second half. They're 3 for 4.
The Rockets shooting straight 49% from the field. Westbrook with it. He has 5. Passes it to Capella. Lowry against Harden. Harden draws the double. Gasol with the steal. And now here's Johnson, a fast break chance. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That's on Clint Capella. The Raptors have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. That's good from Johnson. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Pass to Harden. Here's Clark. Now recovering. To the paint and stolen by Siakam. Lowry against Harden. From deep. No good. Shot missing. The Rockets go the other way with it. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23. And he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. And after winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey.
Take a break.
Thank you.
Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Capella.
And a boon it was for the Rockets to be able to keep Clint Capella. A great fit with the team and gives them exactly what they need on the interior.
Thomas checked in for Toronto. So he gets them both. And Greg Capella, who was taken near the end of the first round back in 2014 in the draft, has developed well during his time with Houston.
And Capella's game has really taken off in the last few seasons. He looks to be a double-double machine for this team for the next handful of years, and that is exactly what they need.
Here's Harden, and Harden with the stuff.
He's so crafty with the ball. The ability to score inside and outside, just a terrific night from Harden.
Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. And here is Van Vliet. He's got 5. Gasol looking around. Back to Van Vliet. 5 to shoot. Tipped away. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook.
Looking now at some numbers for Clint Capella. A wonderful string of games he's put together here lately. Averaging about 15 points and over 2.5 blocks. To have a scorer like him consistently deliver you points makes such a big difference for a team.
Yeah, it gives you something you really can rely on going into every game. And you can also work off of him to look to create for others.
Now here's Westbrook after the Marcus Holmes. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at Houston. They're in the upper part of the conference records right now, in 5th place.
And seeing where the Rockets are, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
Yeah, they'll be there in the playoffs. I'm sure of that. It's just a matter of how high they'll be seated.
Van Vliet kicks to Gasol. And the 3 off target. Rockets leading by 13. Here's Green. Doesn't go for him. Some solid defense from Johnson. It's Thomas outside. And again, no good by Toronto. The Rockets have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Here's Westbrook. Good. Westbrook's got 7 points in the game.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
Oh, I do too, Greg. You have to go to your best scorers. I mean, it's a smart strategy, and so far, it's paying off in this game.
Here's Van Vliet following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Stolen by Westbrook. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. For the finish, and the dunk by Capella. And he's now got the double-double. 11 points and 10 rebounds.
I mean, and when you look at the big man Capella sprint down the floor, when he's finishing in transition, it has to motivate the rest of his teammates.
Now here's Van Vliet. 5 points in the game. Lets a floater go, and Capella sends it back. And that'll be Toronto as it goes out of bounds. Raptors retain possession. Norman Powell's checked in for Toronto. And a switch here also for Houston. Gordon's checked in for Green. And the Raptors call time here. And only 6 feet tall in shoes, Fred Van Vliet's not the biggest, but his toughness, Greg. His toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
They could use a bucket. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Westbrook's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Shoots over Van Vliet. Toronto grabs the miss.
They haven't needed him as much as I thought they would tonight.
Harden with the defensive effort. Rockets leading by 17. On the wing, Gordon. Over Johnson. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Raptors. And they're off to Philadelphia after this game as they'll take on the 76ers. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Harden, no good.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Now here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Westbrook. Van Vliet passes to Powell. 4 on the shot clock. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist. Powell's got 5 points so far. Rockets have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Westbrook kicks to Harden. Back to Westbrook. And he lays it straight in. He's got 9.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Raptors trail by 14. Now here's Van Vliet. He has 5. Johnson outside. The 3 ball. Rebounded by Capella. Rockets have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11. Here's Harden. Kicks it out to Gordon. Launches it. That one, no good. Raptor shooting has been wayward so far. Only 37% from the floor. A second chance effort. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That's on Clint Capella.
The size of Gasol makes him a tough cover. Plus, he knows how to draw fouls.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
As he enters his mid-30s, Marc Gasol showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, I think he's a better all-around basketball player.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Anunoby. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson comes in for Johnson. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Fred Van Vliet. And through his first 8 seasons in the NBA, Marc Gasol made a total of 12 three-pointers. Nowadays, Greg, he'll make more than that in a month.
And you ask around, he's always been capable. A great shooting touch. It's just a different job description for big men nowadays.
Now Lowry, following the three-point attempt by Austin Rivers. Powell, no one around him. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Up top, Rivers. Lowry covering. Powell against Gordon. It's good. And the Rockets lead by 12.
These buckets help Rivers get going. The defense can't allow him to get comfortable from there.
Toronto's gone downtown a lot since halftime. They've missed 5 of their 9 attempts out there. Shot from 12. Lowry, good. Lowry's got 13.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range, even against that length.
Yeah, the defender just couldn't quite close the gap all the way and got burned for it.
Now here's Rivers. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Here's Cephalosha. Houston moving it around. 6 to shoot. Back to Capella. It's Rivers on the wing. Misses the 3. Raptors trail by 10. The shot by Powell, no good.
And he's got to do a better job making the D pay for their mistakes.
Cephalosha passes to Tucker. It's Rivers on the wing. Rejected by Gasol. Lowry against Rivers. Shoots from the baseline. Lowry, good. Lowry's got it back down to within single digits for the Raptors.
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
No, it would be a shame to make all this progress and let them off the hook. You got to keep the pressure on.
Now here's Gordon. He's got 6. Pass to Rivers. Another miss by Houston.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
Just off his game, forcing a few shots, not letting the game come to him naturally.
There's the pass to Cephalosha. Here's Tucker. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. 8 points for him.
Even though he lacks some size, Tucker's strength makes up for it. He competes inside.
Here's Hollis-Jefferson. Passes it to Ibaka. Now Powell. Pass to Gasol. Knocks it loose. On the wing, Eric Gordon, guarded by Powell. Missed inside.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
Lowry from outside. The shot, no good. And the Rockets take it the other way. They led by as many as 18 points.
One made three for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
There is the unselfishness that coaches love so much. Rivers doing a great job getting it to the open man.
So it's Toronto now, down by 12. Here's Powell. Rebounded by Tucker. Houston's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. And it's Gordon penetrating. And that one, good. Tucker's got 10 points in the game.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
There's 25 seconds left in the third. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
There's Hollis Jefferson. The three-pointer, no good. Rivers with it. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. They get Marc Gasol.
And Rivers works hard when he's in the game. That's what you love about him. He's at his best when he's shooting the ball with confidence.
It's his first trip to the line.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
Shooting 2.
A free throw drops for Rivers. And the Rockets making a change here. He's off on the second. And so it's the Houston Rockets. Their lead at 15 going into the break. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. We've got more in store for you right after this. Let's hear what Mike D'Antoni was going over with his team moments ago.
We got to move the ball. We got to spread the floor. The only way we get it. If you go in, don't take a hard shot. Go around. Pass somebody else.
Ball movement, a crucial part of the game, Greg. Spot-on assessment by Coach D'Antoni.
I mean, no reason to take difficult, low-percentage shots. Let's just move the basketball, and eventually something will open up.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Van Vliet and Lowry are the 1 and the 2. Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Starting to take over here, building a big lead that could ultimately prove insurmountable.
Van Vliet passes to Siakam. Lowry inside the line. It's rebounded by Houston. Capella's
solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy. Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Here's Lowry, and the basket is good.
And what a take from Lowry, using that quickness to just blaze to the rim.
Rivers surveying the D. On the wing, Gordon. And a miss there on the triple.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
This isn't like him, and he knows it. The best thing they can do is try to get him more easy looks.
Now here's Rivers, covered by Van Vliet. Outside Gordon. Pass to Green. Shot clock at 6. Here's Rivers. And the rejection by Ibaka.
The size, the timing of Ibaka, tailor-made for protecting the rim.
Siakam finds Van Vliet. That three off the mark.
His bad night from the field is only going to get worse if he keeps throwing up shots like that.
Right side Gordon over Lowry. It's good from Gordon on the assist by Rivers. 8 points for Eric Gordon. And here is Van Vliet. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Here's Lowry. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got rebound number 15 here tonight. Now here's Rivers. He's covered closely. Lob pass to Capella. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off. Raptors trail by 19. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Here's Lowry, and he banks in the layup. Lowry's got 12 points in just the second half.
He's got the hot hand right now. As long as he can keep getting open, they've got to keep feeding him.
Now here's Rivers, covered by Van Vliet. On the wing, Gordon. There's the triple. Siakam pulls it in. Siakam's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
He's done a lot of the little things to help put them in front. But his offense has not been there for him tonight.
Now Rivers, following the miss by Kyle Lowry from deep. And Gordon hits from deep. And the Rockets lead by 20.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second three of the game.
Here's Lowry. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And there it is for him.
Oh, great production on the interior right now. 8 straight from inside.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, and sometimes, Greg, it's the most subtle moves that make the biggest difference.
The Raptors making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. The Rockets also changing it up. Clark, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Harden comes in for Eric Gordon. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Rivers. Now here's Westbrook. Outside, Green fires the three. And it's Van Vliet with the rebound. And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That will be foul number 5 on him. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for Toronto. It's an 18-point game. The drive by Siakam. That one goes in.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Lowry against Harden. The shot comes out. Good work defensively by Lowry. Now the Raptors moving it up. Here's Siakam. And he gets it to go. Siakam's got 4 points in the quarter.
His shooting has been a bright spot for them. Otherwise, they've struggled as a whole.
Now here's Westbrook. Five on the clock. Green. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, Mike D'Antoni is a legendary coach in this game. He's found success at almost every stop he's coached at, only missing the title to cement his legacy.
That's good from Green. And with Mike D'Antoni, Chris, you can see his influence as a coach throughout the NBA.
Yeah, a lot of modern offenses borrow from things D'Antoni created. The up-tempo early offense is a product of his 7 seconds or less era. His imprint is all over the NBA.
Both free throws good from Green.
Well, Kevin Green has been so resilient over the course of his career. Look, he's played for a lot of teams. He's played overseas. He's been a valuable player, though, everywhere he's been.
Now here's Van Vliet. Back to Lowry. Ibaka against Capella. Back to Lowry. The three. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Rockets leading by 16. Here's Westbrook. On the wing, Green. Three-pointer. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
That's been a reliable aspect of Green's game throughout his career. Now, the ability to find his shot and deliver beyond the arc.
Now, here is Lowry, and Capella sends it back. Here's Harden, and Harden with the stuff.
Oh, and when Harden is going strong to the rim, he's looking for the throwdown, ripping the rim down hard on that one.
Here's Van Vliet. One negotiating concession the league wants from the Players Union: prospect attendance, Chris, at the draft combine and team-wide access to player physicals.
Well, this is a tough one because I don't think that a team that is not interested in you should have your physical. And we all know that information is shared, and so it should be genuine in the teams that are truly interested. And so I understand agents holding back on that. Medical information is something very serious that just because you have an opportunity to be drafted, your information shouldn't be spread all across the world just because you're at a combine. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but basically you just want a level playing field for everyone. And if we have that, it'll be better for everyone.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Harden. And for James Harden, he loves to be put on an island and go one-on-one against a defender.
Well, yeah, last season, Harden had as many ISOs called for him as some teams ran in. And that's all because of his coach. His coach calls the games that way. It's his bread and butter. And there isn't much you can do to stop him with one defender.
And both free throws good for James Harden. Well, sometimes it just looks unfair with the way Harden can create space. And then, Chris, he'd get that shot off.
Come on, Kev, it's just sick. His step-back jumper is a thing of beauty. I'm not talking about his almost travel double step back, just his regular one. I mean, he has so many tools to create space with his footwork, and he makes the most out of what you give him.
Now here's Westbrook, following the miss by Pascal Siakam. To the middle, Capella kicks to Clark. Houston moving it around. And taken away by Johnson. Now the Raptors moving it up. Here's Van Vliet. And the Raptors miss again.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
Here's Westbrook. Toronto grabs the miss. Ibaka's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Now Van Vliet. Over Green. And nothing is falling for him right now. To the inside. Stolen by Van Vliet. Here's Johnson. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist.
And what concentration from Johnson. When he drives inside, absorbing the contact and completing the shot. Easy.
Inside, it's tipped. It's stolen by Ibaka. Fast break, Toronto. Trying to break that ice-cold streak, and it's good on the way in.
Great teamwork, punctuated by a strong finish.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way and get a great look.
Now, here's Westbrook. Right side, Green. And that one's on target from the wing. And the Rockets lead by 21.
Once he turned it on, he became a force in this game. Not sure where this guy was in the first half.
Here's Lowry. See, Webb, the NBA always trying to improve every aspect of the game, and that includes officiating.
Yeah, and it should include officiating, one of the most important parts of the game and one of the toughest jobs within the business of basketball. I mean, these guys are making calls on the fly without the advantage of the camera at home that we have watching through the screen, or without the advantage of slow motion technology. So first of all, kudos to the refs that go out and give it their best every day. We have the best refs in any of sports, I believe, and we still need to improve on that. The league recognizes that, and I love the fact that everybody's doing it together.
The Raptors making a switch here. Gasol's checked in. Toronto calls timeout.
Trying to find some answers offensively.
Some bad shot selection as well as some bad luck. I mean, that's not going to help you score points.
Now the presentation of our Jordan player of the game, Clint Capella.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
He got an extra boost from the grief these fans were giving him here tonight. They were riding him hard all night, and he ate it up. Some guys just like being the villain, I guess. Now, here's Westbrook, and that one drops.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Yeah, horrible effort. It appears they may be on the brink of giving up.
Here's Van Vliet following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Van Vliet kicks to Lowry. Floats one. Harden with the defensive effort. Here's Houston now. They're on a 13-4 run. Dishes it to Westbrook. Takes a three. Harden, no good. Toronto's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Johnson, the pass to Gasol. He can't get it to go. So Houston will take it the other way.
Don't let James shoot it.
Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
Oh, you love seeing Harden take off of the slam. He has just unreal hops.
A minute 50 left to play here in the fourth. Johnson outside. The pass to Siakam. The feed to Gasol. Shoots over Capella. And another shot. Count the basket and the foul. Capella, and so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. A new group in now for the Raptors. Boucher is checked in. OG Anunoby comes in for Stanley Johnson. McCaw, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. And Thomas subbed in for Fred Van Vliet. And that one falls for Marc Gasol. And just like his brother Powell, Marc Gasol active in humanitarian causes.
I mean, we saw him volunteering on rescue boats in the Mediterranean. Marc doing his part, but also bringing attention to that humanitarian crisis.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Chris, regarding the overstated pre-draft concerns about Luka Doncic, even as the game goes international, it seemed like many GMs are scared to go all in on European players.
And rightfully so. It's a new area, and if they're not immersed into the culture, it may be a little more trepidation on that end. But I would just say, just look at the really the great stories, whether you're talking about the Vlade Divas or the Sabos that came into the game, and even you can go to Marshall Lonis, Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah, come on, Porzingis. We got a lot of great players from overseas that have shown us that they can make the way. But the mistake would be is thinking just because someone lives close to him, they would have the game of a Dirk Nowitzki, and that's not true. So you need to do your due diligence, but I think European players have already proved the type of heart, skill set, and mindset that they come to this game with, which is at the top.
Hernandez checked in for Marc Gasol. That misses, so he splits the free throws. Toronto's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Rockets.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for James Harden.
Well, he had a hand in just about everything they did tonight. I mean, he just didn't take a single possession off on either end. He was the complete package.
And he makes the first. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. 30 seconds left in the fourth. The dish to Chandler. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Harden finds Nene. Now here's McLemore. He's guarded by Thomas. Just 3 to shoot. Shot on the wing. That one off the back iron and out. So we see Houston taking the W here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.